Zinchenko is now an Arsenal player, and I am sad about it. I'm absolutely sad about it. He's gone. A guy that is much loved by Manchester City fans, and something that probably felt relatively inevitable, if I'm being honest. It was always probably going to happen, but finally, Zinchenko has flown the nest. City have probably tried to move on a few times, but this guy has definitely, absolutely made himself something of a cult hero at Manchester City over the years. And his spell has come to an end as he signed for Arsenal for around 30 million, rising to 32 or something like that. And I'm really upset about it, actually, because I think Zinchenko pretty much epitomises all that's good with footballers at times. You know, he absolutely is an incredibly popular member of the first team, and also in general popular amongst the fans. You know, that connection that he had was huge. It was absolutely huge, and I'm going to talk about today why I'm going to miss him an awful lot as a City fan, you know, and as a person as well, because you know, football isn't always just about what happens on the pitch. It is, but it isn't. It's not the only thing that matters, you know. But some of us care immensely about the players off the pitch too, and Zinchenko pretty much sums that up better than pretty much anyone else currently out there. I would like to say, please do help support the channel. Please do click the link in the description and download OneFootball. If you're an Arsenal fan and you want all the latest information about Zinchenko, your newest signing, well, you know what to do. Go to OneFootball right now and get all the stats and information about Zinny. Or if you're a City fan or whatever, or a football fan at all, you get news about every team, every player, and every goal, all on OneFootball. You can scan that QR code, get your phone, point the camera at it, and it'll automatically start downloading the app. Or you can click the link once again. It helps support my channel. It's wonderful. Over 10 million people have used it. It's nothing. It costs you absolutely nothing. It's genuinely free. Go and do it right now. Do it for Zinny, man. Do it for Zinny. Zinny would love you to download it. Go and do it right now. So, this is a shame. This is a shame. I'll go over to the media and see what it's all saying and so on. I'll go over to Manchester City's website right now. City's website. Yeah, that's right. Website. I sounded like I had a sort of a lisp. Where has it gone? It said this. Let me make it fit on screen. Hang on, rearranging the size of it and all this kind of stuff. It's been zoomed in quite a bit. Zinchenko has left Manchester City to join Arsenal on a permanent deal. The 25-year-old heads to North London for a new challenge after a trophy-laden 6 years at the Eithad Stadium, during which he's become the most successful Ukrainian in Premier League history. He departs with 128 appearances and 2 goals to his name, having won every available honour in the English game, including 4 league titles, 4 Carabao Cups, 1 FA Cup and 1 Community Shield. Signing for City changed my life and I will always be grateful for the opportunity they gave me, he told mancity.com. It's a special club and this has been a special period. To have won 10 trophies is incredible and I'm immensely proud of everything we have achieved together. I love being part of this squad. Playing alongside world-class players and working with Pep Guardiola has been an absolute privilege, and I must say the same about playing in front of the fans who've always made me feel so at home here. I thank them all for their support they've given me and I wish the club all the best in the future. Cheeky as well had this to say: I cannot speak highly enough of Olex, both as a player and as a person. He should be very proud of his time here at City. He helped us achieve great things and the way that he conducted himself has been an example to all. His professionalism and work ethic has been exceptional and we wish him all the very best as he begins his new chapter in his career. So yeah, he signed in summer 2016 and all that kind of stuff from FC Ufa, and he went on loan to PSV, blah, 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 and eventually came back, and of course, we all know what happened then. A hugely, actually, integral part of the squad. When you realise how long he's been around at the club now, this is Wikipedia, I'll just sort of fit it on screen for you, but you realise, like, he's been here since 2017 as part of the squad and, 14 games one season, 29, 25, 32, 28, 128 games in the end. There's an awful lot of games for a guy who's a squad player, and it's not a surprise that he's gone down and become so popular. Zinny is a fucking legend, and on a personal level, I did not expect to feel so emotional today, but he literally, included me in his video. Which is mad. Like, I'm not kidding. He did a video saying farewell. And years ago when I was on Blooming Rising TV, me and Alex, we did a video outside the Eithad about him signing, in which I said, I'm quite excited by this little transfer. He's really versatile. He's played in a bunch of positions. He can even play left back. I said that all those years ago. And 10 seconds into his video on his Instagram, the clip of me and Alex popped up, and I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, what the fuck? Freaked out immediately. So it's mad to think that Zinchenko sat there and watched that, and I'm in his farewell video. Which is, I already fucking love the guy anyway, man. Like, I already love the guy anyway, and he's gone and done this to me. Like, I did a video years ago on the channel, about 3 years ago when I was at the flat, I even remember, where I said, I did basically a video which was just a tribute to Zinchenko. And I essentially, I can't remember what it was called. I think it was something like the importance of Zinchenko and why we'll all learn from him, or something like that. So I sometimes wonder, had he seen that video where basically I spent 10 minutes just waffling about why I love Zinchenko, and that was 3 years ago. And to be honest, everything I said that day in that video, I feel like it stands up even more now. Like, Zinchenko is important because people are important. And the best of people, when you find someone like Zinchenko, you absolutely try and make the most of him, and you hold on to them, and you appreciate them, and you respect what they've achieved. And I know for a personal fact that Zinchenko is a wonderful person. He's an absolutely wonderful person. I love telling this little anecdote, but one of my very good friends, the guy behind that camera, that Bleed Me Rising clip, Paul Walsh, who was on Bleed Me Rising TV with me for years, he's one of my best friends, a lovely guy. He's a producer at Manchester City now, so he's often behind the camera working with players. And he was filming some bits with Zinchenko once, and the players get to know him. But then many months later, Paul was in Asda near the Eithad with his wife, Paul's wife, and Zinchenko was in there too, and he recognised Paul down the aisle, and he walked over to Paul and said, "Oh, how you doing? You all right?" And he introduced himself to Paul's wife Elsa. He's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Alex." To Paul's wife, and just started chatting, asked you all that kind of stuff. Like, he's one of the friendliest guys. And when I told that story in a video once, someone DM'd me on Twitter saying how they once watched City in the hotel lobby with Zinchenko, and they were singing songs and chatting together. He's honestly absolutely fucking lovely, and that's me saying that before I even know he'd watched my videos. Like, which is crazy to say that, which blows my mind. But Zinchenko, like, I know he's not our best player. I know he wasn't our best player. But you cannot, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here, put a value on the camaraderie and the wholesomeness and the professionalism and the work ethic that someone like Zinchenko brings to the squad. They absolutely do. They really genuinely do. Patrick, a big love to Patrick. Carolus for the super chat. He says, his video made me genuinely emotional. I love him, the person and the player. Absolutely wish him and his family nothing but the best. Thank you, Zinny. Patrick, absolutely spot on, mate. It made me feel teary-eyed as well, because he's a great person, and when you see someone great, you want to wish them luck. And I don't want to do the whole, oh, what a wonderful person, like as if like he wasn't a good footballer. I mean, ultimately, when you think about it, he was genuinely involved in some of the biggest moments in this club's history. We reached the Champions League final because he came on at half-time against PSG and was absolutely excellent. And he changed it. Then he started the second leg. He was brilliant in that little run. Not always at his very best, but he was excellent. Then, of course, it's not even an exaggeration to say, if he hadn't come on that last day of the season, maybe we don't win the league. He was fucking brilliant. Him and Gundogan were absolutely immense when they came on. They changed the course of the game, those two. I remember him pocketing Eden Hazard as well when we played Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final. He was excellent that day, and he had so many big runs towards the end of the season, once again in a position that he was absolutely unfamiliar with, but he still excelled at times. And yes, occasionally he was a little bit weak defensively, but I don't think people quite realise statistically how much Zinchenko brought to this Manchester City side. It wasn't just about his heart and his head, it was intelligence as well and his technical ability. Now, I saw stats a while back, and I can't find them now, I don't know where they are, but Zinchenko was absolutely heavily involved in Manchester City's build-up and the way the team progressed the ball and transitioned from defence to the forward line. He was so good at those little technical 1-2s and so on. Honestly, I don't think we've probably given the credit he deserves for how good he was technically. Like, he's a fucking great little player who actually, I think he probably could go up another level if he gets a little bit of freedom to play in his usual role. Like, when you watched him against Scotland for Ukraine, he was absolutely immense. As a midfielder, I think he's even better than we realise. He's learned so much under Guardiola. He's improved so much as a player. And what do Arsenal get? Well, Arsenal get a guy who now has 4 Premier League titles. He is a winner. You get a guy who backed himself against all odds. When Manchester City tried to sell him a couple of times, he went, no, I want to be here. I want to win trophies. I want to prove myself. I'm going to stay here, and I don't care how long it'll take. I will get a chance, and when I do, I am going to take that chance with both hands. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to make myself a Manchester City player, and that's what he did. And that, to me, is absolutely admirable. So Arsenal get that, a winner and a guy who fights to prove himself, and they get someone who absolutely is a captain on the pitch as well. His mentality, as Alfie just said in the chat, is absolutely unmatched. As Charlie said, he won 100% of his duels versus Neymar and Mbappe, man. Pete said, yeah, I'm going to miss him the most out of Sterling, Jesus and Zinny. I get it. And as Mark said, get up the likes. Yeah, do hit the like on the video, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel. Like, so you got a guy who backed himself against all odds to break it through. Is a guy who was signed to be a City Football Group player who absolutely genuinely failed on loan as well. Like, he failed on loan at PSV, but he came back and he forced it, man. Like, to me, that is inspirational. People like Zinchenko are inspirational because they show you that with a little bit of luck, of course, and of course you have to have a bit of talent. But if you've got talent and you've got a little bit, look, if you work hard, you fucking will earn your own luck. You will earn your own luck. And that, to me, is a lesson for everyone. Not just footballers. It's for you and it's for me. In general, in life, you do not get anywhere without working really, really hard. And you have to have the right attitude. You have to make yourself likable. You have to, be a professional. And if you someone like Kevin De Bruyne, it comes easier to you. But if you're not quite as talented as Kevin De Bruyne, sometimes you've got to be a little bit more than that. You've got to be the hardest working. No, maybe De Bruyne is, But you know what I'm getting at. You don't have to be the hardest working if you're Messi because it's so natural to you. But if Zinchenko, you've got to use that bit of talent you've got and you've got to squeeze that fucking orange, get every last tiny bit of juice out of it. And that's what Zinchenko's done. He squeezed the ability orange of his career. Like any sense? No, it doesn't at all. Super chat as well from GL75 Sam. Thank you so much, Sam. If that's your beard, it's a mighty fine beard, mate, in the picture. He said, as I said in the week, gutted to lose Alex. From turning down Wolves to fight for his place to some great games. I'm sad he never scored in the Premier League. I'm gonna miss Z. Yeah, man, Zinchenko is an absolute legend. And I'm gutted to see him go as well, man. I'm gonna miss him. Because, he's just a quality footballer and a quality player. Thank you so much, Sam. You're absolutely bob on, man. Like, I can't believe as well. Like, you turned down Wolves and look at it's the best thing you ever did. And, generally, what someone said his partner's post tugs at the heartstrings. Someone linked to it. I've not seen that actually. I'll have a look at it. I'm not sure what his wife said there. He's got a little kid as well. He's beautiful. His little kid is absolutely beautiful, which makes me feel very broody as a dad to be. So in general, I think the reason I miss him is because, he's a cult hero. Like, there's the most common titles given to players when they leave, if they're great, or, are they a legend or they are a cult hero or whatever. And it's really hard to define what makes a cult hero, but a cult hero doesn't always have to be a great player. A cult hero can often be someone who epitomizes a current zeitgeist of the club or whatever, or someone that has a special connection with the fans or something like that. And to me, Zinchenko is very much a cult hero. He's got that very Zabaleta-esque kind of mentality, that passion and that two-way appreciation between him and the fans. You can really feel it. And more than that as well, he isn't like he isn't a Manchester City legend or anything like that, but he's definitely a cult hero. And he's definitely the kind of guy that Manchester City will invite back on their shows. You'll have him as an ambassador. He will absolutely be loved at the club, and he'll be invited back all the time. And as Paul just said as well, and Paul, the member, said, he was the glue guy. Every top team needs unselfish players who do whatever the manager says, who work their ass off. The type of player Zinny keeps the locker room balance with all the other egos in there. He absolutely is the glue to that team, and you do need that, man. You do need to find those humble players because they do make a squad. You can't all be the superstar, man. You can't all be as flashy as a De Bruyne or a Cancelo or whatever. I'm not saying those players don't work hard, but you know what I'm on about. Some players have to set the levels for others to work towards, and that is what I love about Zinchenko, because he was so willing to do that always. And I know it sounds like a bit of an obituary here, but I fucking miss him. I'm going to miss him because a great man, and a better player than most will give him credit for. So I'm going to look over apparently screenshots of what his missus said on the aggregators. So I'm going to have a look over here. Let's have a look. Let me try and find it. Some quotes from him in general. I think his missus said. That's what his missus has said. She said, oh God, it's hard to read that actually. I'll move it around. She put, there we go, 1 second. The first time I wore a City t-shirt, let me 1 second, because I can make it fit in maybe. 1 second, guys. There we go. It was in 2019. Back then, my future husband was already a part of the Manchester family, but I had to prove, I had to prove my spot on the stands. She's got wit, her to be fair. In Manchester, we learned to lift trophies, smile through brainy weather, take a kick, and how to be adults. In City T-shirts, we created our family, and here our daughter made her first steps. We met good friends, trustworthy partners, and people who look up to. We are turning this page of our football life, but we are not saying goodbye. As a journalist, I will be watching the phenomenon that is Manchester City with even more interest. Now I'll be able to look at it in a slightly different way. Thanks for everything, Man City. Manchester will forever be blue to go. Vlada, she's a fucking legend. Absolutely love that. Is that Pep with his... Look at that, he's beautiful, man. Like Pep with a baby. Obviously, his wife's very beautiful too, but I was actually on about... he's done well for himself, hasn't he? Look at a beautiful family. Look at Pep with his little girl. Fucking hell, man. She's so fucking cute. I can't wait to be a dad. Look at him as a dad, man. Like, that is just so wholesome. It's just so wholesome. It's lovely, isn't it? And like, he essentially, when you really think about it, Zinchenko joined as a young boy. He joined as a young boy, and he made a family here in Manchester. He met his wife, he had his daughter, he made friends, he made a career. He ended up captaining his national side, and then of course as well, emotionally, he gave his biggest performance in a Manchester City shirt, probably his most iconic, when his heart was torn into a fucking 1,000 pieces, I can't even imagine what it feels like to be Zinchenko and try and play and do your job when your country's been blitzed at the hands of a war, essentially, barbaric war. And, I couldn't deal with that. If I was sat there in another country watching it happen to England and Manchester, I'd be a mess. Your friends and family, the places that you love, the places that you grew up, to do that, like, I can't even begin to comprehend how painful that must have been to do his job and then obviously be that impressive the last day of the season and to come through it and still be as strong as he is. It says an awful lot about a man. It says a lot about the quality of the man. A great person, and like that to me it sums him up entirely. Zinchenko is a great person. It does pull on the heartstrings. Obviously, you're right. Ramsdale is apparently going to Griffin. Already called him Zinky. Oh, don't, man. Don't take him. Charlie, there will be a watch along, yeah, of course. And as Pete said, he's grown so much under Pep from what he came in as. A fantastic story and forever be a blue. Yeah, exactly, man. And Torres BRG said as well, your players we like but don't necessarily replicate club values. Zinny showed the same level of Pablo in his passion for the club. For that alone, he'll be very missed here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, some people just get the value of the club, and Zinny had that connection with players. And I guess it goes a little bit back to the Sterling thing, and I saw people mention it, like how people saying, how could you be more upset about Zinchenko going than Sterling? And look, Zinchenko clearly isn't as good a footballer as Sterling ever will be. And he never had the impact on the pitch that Sterling ever did, of course. But I think it's all down to personality. It's down to personality. Like, Zinchenko is a guy who absolutely felt like one of us out on the pitch, who absolutely had that camaraderie with fans, who absolutely felt lucky to be here, who absolutely loved this club and gave it his all. And Sterling clearly had a lot of those things too, but there was never really that one-to-one connection, back and forth connection with Sterling as the way that there was with Zinchenko and certain fans. And there's nothing wrong with that. There absolutely isn't anything wrong with that. Some players just naturally have that connection. Some people are a little bit more emotional, a little bit more passionate, and that will always connect with some fans more. That doesn't necessarily mean that Sterling was wrong to be like that or whatever. There's something about it, and I think some people are naturally a little bit more aloof or standoffish, and how could you blame people for feeling more attached to the guy who absolutely bleeds for the shirt and loves it and clearly loved being somewhere? That impact, that emotional aspect to it, of course it's going to connect with fans, and like that is why I probably care more about Zinchenko going on an emotional level than I do Zinchenko and Jesus. Of course, if I was to choose one player to stay on a football level, of course it would be Sterling. It would be. As a winger, I would rather Sterling be here than all those three, because I think we need him more in the squad. But as a person, as a human, the one I'm most upset to see go is Zinchenko. And I guess as well, now I'm 36 years old, like, as you get older a little bit as well, you get more sentimental about the things that you like, and you know why you like the things that you like, and you respect good people an awful lot more. People feel a lot more throwaway when you're younger, not because people mean it in a bad way, just because the value of things increases as you get older, because you get older and you get more aware of your mortality, and you get more aware of the good people and the bad people in life. And as you realise that people can't always be trusted and people aren't always perfect, that kicks in more as you get older. And when you get to like my age right now, you see someone who's good and you value them an awful lot. And a lot of you feel the same way even though you're younger, but you definitely end up noticing a little bit more as you get older. You do on that, trust me. And it's the beauty of age. Age is terrifying, but as you get older, you definitely value things more that you like, and you definitely realize what you like more. And Zinchenko, to me, I just like Zinchenko because I like him as a person, and I think he's important to life. I think people like Zinchenko are important, and I think they're important to the club. And I think it's very, very telling that Zinchenko will be back at Manchester City in 10 years. If he's not coaching, I hope he is, and I hope he's part of the club on a professional level. But he will be back here as a fan, and he will be back here as a Manchester City cult hero, and he will be back here as someone that we all love very close to our hearts. So if you're watching this, Zinchenko, if you are, hopefully that you are. I know you watch fan content. I am literally right here on your farewell video. So if you're watching this, man, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. As a City fan, I don't speak for every Manchester City fan, but I feel like I speak for a few of them, at least, that will definitely share some of the opinions that I do. So as a City fan, who I know has a similar views to some, thank you for giving everything for this club that we love. Thank you for giving everything every time you stepped out on the pitch. And personally, thank you for being a great person and a great representative of this club. Like, honestly, and thank you for your performances too. Like, Zinny, you're a fucking legend, man. You're a cult hero of this club. I love you in the way that I love Zabaleta. And that, to me, is one of the highest compliments it could ever be. There was a meme that went around years ago where it said, what was it? Always be yourself unless you can be Pablo Zabaleta, then be Pablo Zabaleta. Well, I feel like it's time to update that. Always be yourself unless you can be Oleksandr Zinchenko, then be Oleksandr Zinchenko. That to me sums it up in a heartbeat. I would love to be Zinchenko because you are the kind of person that everyone loves. You are the kind of person that everyone loves to work with and support and say thank you. So Zinny, thank you for being a fucking great person. And ultimately, that is why people will remember you. And do you know what? That's fucking great, Zinchenko. If you're watching this now somehow, do you know how impressive it is to be the guy that people are going to love it and remember when Manchester City over the past 10 years have seen some of the greatest times that this club has ever seen, despite having legends like Yaya, Vincent Kompany, Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne. People will still remember you in an incredibly fond way. It takes so much to actually cut through. Given all the great players that Manchester City currently has and has had over the past 10 years, you still have managed to cut through emotionally. And you know what? That's incredible. And you're not even you're not even one of our best players, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. You know what I mean? You're not a David Silva, and who is? Not many people are. There's been probably better players than Zinchenko, and I mean that once again with respect, that still won't have that same emotional pull that he does, and that is so fucking rare, and it's so special. Like, I would love that, man. I love that, and I guess it's like someone tells you, oh, you're the one that I remember. And when there's been loads of great things happen in their life, that just means something to you. And to me, I mean that. Like, I don't know Zinchenko. You don't know Zinchenko. None of us really do. But I know enough to know that people who do know him love him. And that, to me, always will stand out. And Zinny, thank you for watching this video if you have done. Thank you to everyone else for watching this video. What a fucking guy. Once a blue, always a blue. Once again, if you could be Zinchenko, do it, man. That's a good way to be. Don't do anything Zinny wouldn't do. And be more like Zinny. What a fucking great guy. What a great guy. And good luck at Arsenal. I will be paying attention, of course, to what Arsenal get up to now. I will be, because they've got Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko and Arteta. Annoyingly, those two are the most likeable players that Manchester City had in their squad. And it's an astute signing. 30 million is a lot of money, but they bought a winner, a leader, a captain, and someone who's probably got more ability than you realise. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you make of this. I'm going to go have a tea now, have some food, and deal with this. Take care of him, Arsenal. Marcus Ninja's right in the comments. Take care of him, because he's ours. He's a fucking absolute legend. And not a legend in the sense of Silva and Aguero, but you know what I mean. Some people are just fucking legends. That's what Zinny is. A cult hero, fucking legend, a top guy. Thank you for everything, Zinny. You're an absolute superstar. In a bit, take it easy, and we'll see you at the Eithad very, very soon, I'm sure.